Toastmasters provides Erris a source of inspiration and self-improvement. She is on a quest to improve herself. Her speech is titled, Finding Your Best Self. It's from the Competent Communicator Manual, Project 3, Get to the Point. The time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please help me welcome Erris Dunston.
Good morning, Toastmasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm from behind the lecture and I have no notes.
Go girl.
The title of my speech is Finding Your Best Self. I've been on a quest the past few months to find who my best self is. I look in the mirror and say, this is my best self. And in finding that quest, I have sought to find pieces of myself. I think we all have pieces of ourselves. And I've tried to examine them and dig down a little bit deeper than just the surface. So in finding my question, today I'm going to share with you 4 of my pieces, and I'll encourage you to find your pieces. First thing I said, finding my best self, I want to think about myself as far as how am I grounded? How am I humble? First I have to start with gratitude. So I've started to practice every day, finding moments to be grateful. I have a jar that sits on my living room table and it's full of not cookies but pieces of paper, of which I write down every night what I'm grateful for. And I take those moments to just stop and, for one, come back to present. Because being grateful for right now and what's going on now brings me back to present. I've learned that suffrage usually happens when you go too far forward or drift too far back. Right now, we're all okay. So I practice that daily, and I've learned that some days when I'm having a bad day, I go back and take the notes out of the jar and say, wait a minute, let me get back to where I need to be. That's the first step I took when I sought this quest to better myself. The other thing I started to think about is what's my contribution? How am I paying for existing? How am I doing that? I do several things. I volunteer, but one of the things that I'm most proud of is that I grew up in a small town just north of Raleigh. It's only about 3,500 people. And we didn't have a lot. It was a farming town. But every summer I'd spend my days in my grandmother's garden picking stuff, be it whatever the harvest was. And by the time I would get my stuff to the house in the wheelbarrow, my grandmother would be putting it in the car, taking it somewhere, and I was like, Grandma, why are you taking my stuff away? I just spent all day in the hot sun picking this and you're taking it away. She said, oh, but we got more and we have to share with everybody. She's taking my stuff all the way to people all around the neighborhood. And I was like, but Grandma, I did that. She said, you do that tomorrow. And she helped me the understanding that you always should feed the hungry. And so in 2005, my dad and I, in a way of remembering my grandmother who died in 2004, we started a food bank. And we started that food bank servicing about 30 elderly people, about 700, 800 people a year. Twice a month we would bring them food. And we still have that food bank operating, and we now serve over 12,000 people a year. And we do that, and I take a lot of I'm very proud that we've made it this far because we made it through some dry times. We sometimes have a hard time finding food, but we made partnerships with different organizations and different farmers and different co-ops to make sure that we have food to give people. So I thought, okay, I'm contributing, and I feel okay about that, but there's some sprucing up I can do with that. Then I started to think about the next piece I wanted to examine was how am I motivated? How am I inspired? Who inspires me? I could think of tons of people who inspire me, but when I think about inspiration, I think about people that are are stepping on that edge and doing and taking the courage to do something about something. Recently, I've been most encouraged by, I had the opportunity to spend some time at the March for Our Lives. I don't know if you had the opportunity to do that, but it was a super, super inspiring moment. And once I got the details, because I managed downtown, that it would be 600 kids, and it turned out to be over 2,200 people.
Wow.
So we had to change our detail a little bit, but it was, the line kept moving. People kept coming, but the most inspiring thing about that was that the students spoke so well. What they talked about is something that I had kind of not really thought about. They talked about the fact that they were children that started school when Columbine happened. They were born when Columbine happened. They have never had the opportunity to go to school like most of us have. When I went to school, schools barely had a lock on the door. The most that may be locked was the teacher's drawer. When you went to school, you could smell school. You could smell the ink on paper. You could hear writing on chalkboards. You could hear papers rustling. You could see visuals. You could see a collection of students that are eagerly learning, and you could see learning without fear. The most things I was fearful of when I was in school was the tornado drill that I didn't know if I was going to make it out of. That's how they inspired me, because I know that they are trying. And if you have an ear or a heart, you hear them. If you don't have one or the other, you miss it. But they are crying for safety. That's what they're asking for. They're asking to be safe, and we owe it to them. The last thing I'm going to talk about is my ability to dream. I have to clear my head every night, and I have to go to bed, and I have to dream. Because when I dream of something, I can dream in whatever I want to be, and wake up the next day and use my inspiration and use my drive to achieve that. And those are 4 pieces of my discovery of myself. I challenge you to take on the same quest. The only thing that stands between where you are right now and your best self is you.